Imagine getting up every day full of energy as if you were in your 20s again. What would that be like? What would it be worth to you? What is your health worth to you? Think about it. Your health isn't everything, but without it, everything else is nothing. And yet, too many of us are taking it for granted until something goes wrong. And no one wakes up hoping to be diagnosed with a disease or chronic illness. And yet, we've never been taught how to be proactive in our health through our school or public health. As a registered health coach and integrative health practitioner, I believe it's time this information is made available to everyone. Combining new knowledge around your health and the ability to do my functional medicine lab tests in the comfort of your own home will allow you to optimize your health for today and all your tomorrows. Don't wait for your wake-up call. Welcome back to another Podapalooza episode of the Don't Wait for Your Wake-Up Call podcast. I am your host, Melissa Deely, and I am here with the lovely Gwen Lepard. Welcome to the show, Gwen.
Melissa, thank you so much for having me. I'm so pleased to be here.
And I'm excited to have you share your story. And so I'm just going to dive right in and just ask you to share your healing story, how it started, and how you got to where you're at today, thriving, beautiful, and living life fully.
Well, first, I'm a dancer. I'm a purpose coach, a dancer. I've been working in the digital world, coaching world, healing world for many, many, many years. And at the end of 2021, I started having these episodes, and they could be a few seconds, they could be a few hours. But after they were done, I couldn't stay awake. I just was so exhausted. And what was happening during the episodes is I'd be lightheaded and I would be walking off to the right. I could not walk straight. It was scary. I fell asleep at the wheel a couple of times, woke up in the middle of I-5 in San Diego. And the reason I woke up is because my car was slowing down and there's cars whizzing on either side of me. I was afraid I would never be able to drive again, wouldn't be able to travel. And I couldn't work. I kept trying to work, and yet I was making bad decisions and expensive bad decisions. And in February of 2022, I ended up in the ER 2 days in a row, and they did all the tests. They tested my brain. They found a little teeny thing. They said that couldn't possibly be causing it. It's probably just a little debris. And I'm like, my body will heal it. And then with my heart, they were really concerned about my heart. I got tested up one side and down the other. Nothing wrong with your heart. They sent me to an ear, nose, and throat doctor. No, it's not vertigo. The neurologist, the one guy said, well, he thinks it's some kind of vertigo. The neurologist looked at that and said, he doesn't know what he's talking about. This is not vertigo. And since I've had vertigo once, I went, oh yeah, what I had was definitely not vertigo. Totally different thing. So for basically all of 2022, up until March of 2023, I never knew when one was going to hit. They were just totally random. I did notice after a while that if I worked really late and spent a lot of time in front of the screen and a lot of late night focus, that I would have one the next day. Mm-hmm. So I started backing off. February and March of 2022, I basically spent in bed.
Right.
It's like my body just needs to rest, because I didn't wait for my wake up call.
Right.
I got it because I worked too hard. So much stress, so many plates. And I don't know how to, I haven't learned yet how to do less than at least 5 plates at once. And at that time there were 19.
Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And it's what society teaches us, really.
It is. Yeah.
Do more, right?
Do more and
done and suck it up and keep going. And yeah, women, you can do it all. You can have the career and you can raise the kids and be there and get them to the sports and da 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 da.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're not okay if you don't do all of it.
Exactly. And also, if you slow down and you try to calm your nervous system and maybe you meditate or, focus on getting present, well, that's woo-woo, right?
I'm grounded woo.
And I love the woo. However, there was a time when I was in the corporate world where the programming was that was woo, that, those were those people from, the hippie days, right? That's not me. And I don't need to do that because that was my programming, right?
Right.
Until I didn't have the wake up call. However, my wake up call was losing my job. And then it was like, okay, what am I going to do now? Right. And being open to something different and being guided into all of this learning. I was like, wow, where was this when I was at school? Why didn't I learn this in my 20s instead of in my 40s?
Yeah, absolutely. I hear you.
Why I started this podcast was so that other people could learn this from short podcast episodes that they could then take away and implement in their life. And having people hear stories like yours that are in that place of 19 plates and high stress, that it's time to look at life differently.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
How did you move through this? You spent 2 months in bed for February and March of 2022. You started to figure out if you worked too late at night that you would have an episode. So you knew that there was a correlation between the amount of hours that you were working and potentially screen time as well.
Yes, screen time. And there were some things that they were afraid of, that which they didn't want me to receive chiropractic adjustments anymore. And that for most of my over 30 years, that had been my care, 40 years, that had been my care. And I started noticing that when I was, then I would have episodes. But what they were afraid of, I healed that because we did the MRI and there was some restriction in the neck, and then they did the next one and there was no restriction in the neck. It's like the blood is flowing. Great. Those might have been CAT scans. They were doing both at that time. And so they couldn't figure out what it was. They literally had no idea. There were rashes going on at the same time. I ended up, I thought I was having a stroke one morning, and the ambulance came and they took me off to the ER, and the ER doc was more interested in the rash on my legs than he was in my symptoms, because he goes, "You're not having a stroke." Yay. Thank God. And then I shared with him what an energy healer friend had shared like the day before. She said, "You're just expanding to contain more light, more woo." I shared that with him. He was young. He's like, "I like that."
Oh, I
like you.
He liked that. Exactly.
ER doc that likes the fact that my body is expanding, that all these symptoms that I'm having are my body expanding to contain more light. Because that's what I've always done, is shown light, been a lighthouse, been, the joy girl.
Yeah. Beautiful.
and that piece, I met with a healer. I stopped getting the chiropractic adjustments. I met with a healer that I had known her. You might know her, Lisa Warner.
Yes, I do know Lisa Warner.
Yeah, I recognize your background. Yeah, you guys are in things together with Keith Leon. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, she's amazing. So I got to meet with her in person, and
beautiful.
I was having an episode where we were meeting and hanging onto the wall, and she said, "Why don't you go lay down and let's, and we just talked." And she just does her magic.
She does.
And I've had very few episodes since, and I can like see if there's one coming on, and it's like, oh, okay, we're having a solar flare. That I'm just expanding some more, and I just need to take it easier, go ahead and breathe, drink more water, get movement. So that was a huge help. And early in 2022, I'd been invited to a sacred. So that was actually, yeah. Wow, it must have been 23. Who knows?
You mean
anyway,
Lisa in California?
The timeline just collapsed on me because time really doesn't exist, right? Oh,
exactly.
No, it's not really.
Did you meet with Lisa in California?
I did, yeah. When she was coming through.
She was there in 2022.
It was 2022.
Yeah.
So yes, because I got invited to a sacred dance company that's multi-generational, multi-modality, and my years of freestyle experience were accepted. And I did that in August. So I met her in March, and it was August of 2022 that I joined the company. And I was still having episodes, but they knew about them. So they knew if I just went and sat down, or if I had to take a nap, that, what was going on. But I believe that actually dancing and learning choreography, which I had always struggled against in the past because I just wanted to be a freestyle dancer. The music comes in my ears, it comes out my body, and I just dance.
Yeah.
And that's fun.
That's my style of dancing.
Yes. Oh, we got to get together and dance. Even if it's online.
Exactly.
Yes. So I started every week. I was doing this dance, and it was close to home. I had stopped dancing with my dance church group because it was such a long drive, and I would have episodes, and I would have to pull over and take a nap, and it just I didn't feel safe.
It wasn't conducive. Yeah, fair enough.
It wasn't conducive to having fun when you're kind of like this, and then like I just want to walk around in the circle. No, straight. And learning the choreography, one, it gave me more vocabulary, as the director called it. And because I'm a freestyle dancer, so you get in your rut, the moves that you do, even though, maybe different music gives you some different moves. And so I got more vocabulary, but I noticed that the episodes got less and less and less. And I don't know the last time I had an episode now.
Beautiful.
Just really good.
Yeah.
And I'm now 65, and I'm in my third year dancing with a professional dance company.
Nice.
And when I told my director that's what I tell people, he goes, I said, I don't say I'm a professional dancer. That I dance in a professional dance company. He goes, don't cut yourself short. You have the mindset, you show up, you do the work of a professional dancer. They're working on becoming a nonprofit so we can get paid for our rehearsals and performances. But the company does get paid for the performances, and we put them back in. So I can say at 65 that I'm a professional dancer.
Congratulations. Congratulations. That's such a big win to come through what you came through, those episodes and falling asleep at the wheel and 2 days in a row at ER and being poked and prodded and tested and doctors saying, we don't know what's wrong with you, which is, it happens a lot, right? And then the door opening with an energy healer giving you a new perspective that you're expanding so you can take on more light, and just how that shifts how you think about your illness into thoughts of, wow, that's cool, and hope, and this is happening for me, which allows the body to then be able to heal, right? And be able to expand further to now being a professional dancer and living your passion and your joy. And I can see it in your face and your body. And I just love it. So congratulations to you, because you stayed true to your journey. You know that every step of this was meant to happen for you to get to where you're at today. And the learning that you have from this, the stories that, how many people are you going to help simply by sharing this on this podcast, and other people hear your story and go, oh, that's me. That's me. And I too can get through this. And that's beautiful.
Thank you, Melissa.
And so that story needs to be told. Because every time somebody gets told, we don't know what's wrong with you, or there's nothing wrong with you, or this is what's wrong with you, and this is how long you have to be on this pill, or this is how long you have to live, or whatever, people need to know they don't have to take on that story. And they can write their own story.
You're so absolutely right. Thank you.
And I love that you wrote your own. It's beautiful. So I love to ask every single guest. I know you've kind of answered it. I'm going to ask it specifically, though, because I do with everyone. What does don't wait for your wake-up call mean to you, Gwen?
If there's something you want to do it. And if you are spinning too many plates and you don't feel good, it's okay to rest. Rest is actually a verb. Did you know that is actually an action? Rest is an action. You are doing something when you rest.
Yes.
So, yeah, in order to not have more wake-up calls, I spend a lot of time in self-care. And in fact, I've brought it into my business. I brought dance into my business, and being able to have focused containers for work and for pauses where we can dance and move and adjust our eyes so that we're not staring at the screen for hours upon end. And it's a global thing. We meet on Zoom, and maybe you and I can dance.
Yeah,
one of my Get Done labs.
All of my training sessions that I run start with a dance party. Because
Yes.
when the body moves, the brain grooves. And I mean, you turn music on and my body just starts moving. So I love to dance. So beautiful. I
Absolutely.
love that. And if anybody wants to get hold of you to learn more about your work, your dance, how they can connect with you, what's the best way?
Well, the best way is through a freebie that I
Mm-hmm.
that I have for you. It's a mini course that I created for you. Um,
Beautiful.
Discover the top 7 reasons why you have trouble working alone. Because after all these episodes, after I felt better, I couldn't work alone anymore. I just couldn't. Just too
Right.
much of a struggle. And instead, how to get it done with fun, including dance and movement, and the free PDF, I'll be adding videos and all of that good stuff to it as well. Is that the Get It Done Labs plural.com, getitdonelabs.com /7, the numeral 7, and reasons, 7 reasons.
Perfect.
Getitdonelabs.com, 7 reasons /7 reasons.
I,
Yeah.
I will make sure that is in the show notes for everyone.
Yay.
And do you have any last words of wisdom that you would like to share with the audience?
If you want to dance, dance. If you want to write a book, write a book. If there's something that you want to do, no matter how old you are, how young you are, how well or unwell you are, find the steps, the little steps that it takes to do it. Give yourself what you want, because your purpose on this planet is to be you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Gwen, for being on this episode. This was an amazing, inspirational episode, and congratulations to you for all that you've accomplished. And thank you again to my audience for caring about your health and choosing to learn more each and every week here on the Don't Wait for Your Wake Up Call podcast. Your unconscious mind is powerful. It's the other 90% of your mind. And yet, you're not even taught about it at school. What if you could access the other 90%? It would be like driving the highway in 6th gear instead of 1st gear. That's what you're doing when you only know the tools of the conscious mind, the 10%. You're going through life in 1st gear. Are you ready to ramp up and go through life in 6th gear? Learn the powerful tools of your unconscious mind, healing trauma, clearing anxiety in minutes rather than weeks, months, and years? Join our next Meet Your Unconscious Mind workshop so that you can start to learn the power that you already hold within and the tools to access it. Look for the link to register in the show notes.